catch
Did I tell you about the other day how I said cat to my dad?
Yeah.
And he got angry at me.
And he was like, what the fuck?
He also hates it when I call him bruh and shit. Like, I
Yeah.
always call my dad, like, bruh and us. I'm like, cheers, us.
He hates
He
it.
gets sick. He fucking hates it, eh? He hates it.
My name's
Hot.
Kel.
He's like, call me dad. I'm like, no.
Yeah, baby.
Marshall gets away. Marshall's still going. Marshall's got Richards coming up outside. Now inside.
All right, what's up, nerds? Welcome back to the Barflies podcast, episode 23. Joined always today by my good friend, comrade, Alexander Russell, on this fine Monday afternoon.
Hello there, listeners, viewers, and all.
How are you, mate?
I'm alright. Something happened Friday night. I'm not too pleased about it. An injury. I have chipped my ankle, or fractured it, or whatever.
Okay.
So, I'm in a moon boot. My first time in a moon boot.
Good friends of the show will know the story.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I've told a couple people.
Who was with you?
Well, this is
That crew?
No, well, this is the thing. So we were out. There was a couple of us out on Friday night, and everyone was kind of calling it early. And I'd already received some good news earlier in the day, and I was keen to keep going. And we made friends. We were kind of talking and making friends with these people next to us at the Botany View. And then I was with Jared and Harry, and they're like, "Oh, we're probably going to go." And I was like, "Oh, it's only like 11 o'clock
On a Friday?
Yeah, so I was like, "Oh, I'm keen to." And these people were like, "Oh, we're going to Vic on the Park. Come with us." So I was like, "Yeah, make some new friends. I'll go with these guys."
So you were with randoms?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. And then they were from Kiama,
Okay.
the two blokes.
Yep.
And they were like coming down and meet this other group of people. So they were didn't really know the people they were with. So they were just meeting them for the first time as well. And then they met me when I was out, when we were out. And we go to Vic in the Park. And, of course, basketball hoops there.
Yes.
Had a few run-ins of the basketball hoop already. I actually swished the first shot I took. Believe it or not. It actually happened. And then as maybe an act of revenge, the Vic in the Park gods, if you will. I don't know. Just maybe...
If they exist, they're definitely not on your side.
Or like a curse. Or I don't know. Maybe like the ghost of the Vic in the Park.
Yeah.
Said, no, not today, mate. It's not happening. Took my next shot. My ankle rolled as I landed. And it wasn't even an out of this world shot. It was just jumped up a little bit and then just rolled my ankle, heard a crack, went, that doesn't sound great. And then next day I went to go to cricket and then it was pretty sore and I was like, I'll sleep it off. Got worse and I was like, not ideal. I had cricket the next day and luckily we were batting first and I was like, I'll do the scoring and I'll just see how it goes after a little bit. No, and I got up and we were about to go in field and I was like, no, it's not happening. And then got a scan and here we are, 6 weeks.
So you heard that correctly, viewers.
Yeah.
That's the Vic on the Park 3, Zander nil.
Yeah. I thought I was going to get a 1, but no, absolutely not.
When Zander told me, he copped a return voice memo of me basically just laughing at him.
Which is fair.
I thought it was a
fair.
foretaste, but...
It was fair. I was like, it's pretty funny.
Yeah.
It's not really funny because I've got a moon boot on, but it is also pretty funny. If I'm going to be honest.
It's pretty funny.
Yeah. So, happens.
It does happen.
Does it? Yeah.
Can we crack these beers?
Yeah, let's crack
They
them.
look absolutely sensational.
Yeah. So these are Source Brewing Co. This is a peach Berliner. Vess? German.
Vess?
Vess? I'm going to say Vess because it's German, I think. Source Brewing, Marrickville. Little local Sydney brew. Another one.
Yeah, dude.
We've been loving these ones. The BWS near Cody's house has an excellent range of boutique beers.
Nearly drank it. Yeah, it does.
So, we're gonna have bigger and better, more more niche,
Well,
more niche
yeah.
brews on
Well,
the Barflies podcast.
I was just saying, like, we've done 23 episodes now and haven't repeated a beer.
No,
And it doesn't even feel like we've scratched the surface yet.
no, there's which is
We still haven't even covered, like, all just the Aussie beers, like the
and there's-
classics.
I'm glad that there's plenty more beers to be had. That's good news.
yeah,
think.
I want to, we could go a while, like,
Yeah.
at least,
So you're saying the length of time that we do this podcast is until we run out of beers to cover. When we've tried every beer in Australia. That's
Okay.
it. No more episodes.
yeah, right.
Done.
I'm happy to go with that, yeah.
Done.
And then we'd probably just never stop recording then, because
Yeah,
there'd always just
it's
be
just
new
being
beers
honest.
brewed.
Yeah.
And, like, companies just keep making different versions of, or, like, different styles of beer under the
Yeah,
same,
they
like,
do too.
label. Do you know what I mean? Like, this company had, like, 4 beers there.
Yeah, they did.
But tell me a peach Berliner Vess.
Vis. Yeah.
Doesn't sound unreal.
Does.
Cheers.
Cheers. That's a tasty little number.
Whoa.
It's almost like the sour, like a little
Yeah,
sour. It's got
it
like
is.
it rings eerily similar to sours, but it's not.
No, but it's like, it's more crisp, like way easier drinking.
Yeah, it's not as like intense the sourness. of
Whoa,
it.
that's good.
I could get around this. I could get around
That's
this.
really good.
This is probably the most surprised I've been at the taste of it.
Oh, that's so good, dude. I'm
liking
loving that.
Yeah.
Unreal.
It's like fruity, a nice sourness to it, like nothing overbearing.
Yeah.
Like flavoursome.
But also, like I
Crisp.
said, crisp.
Mm.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, get on board with
Good
that.
stuff. Get around that.
Thanks for coming.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
That's probably one of my favorites we've
Yeah,
had.
I'm saying that's the most surprised at how much I liked. I
Yeah.
didn't think I would not enjoy it,
No.
but I didn't expect to like it that
Yeah,
much.
that's good stuff. Wow. Shout out Sauce Brewing Co.
Yeah, delicious.
Sponsor us.
So enough about me and my leg and my ankle. What did you do this weekend?
I had a massive weekend.
Yeah.
I'm bounced, like,
Yeah.
emotionally.
Mm.
Obviously, my place of work has shut its doors temporarily. But I'll say this. If the singing and dancing laws don't come back in March,
It's not coming
looking good.
back.
Even if they do come back,
It's going to be
we're
rough.
still against the
Well, they have
against
that
the wall.
skeg. Don't they have that skegs?
We have such a good lineup of, like, gigs coming up,
Mm.
and, like, whether or not they go ahead is yet to be seen. But
Mm.
a really interesting weekend. Like, I've only been working there like a year, and it's easily been my favorite job that I've ever had. I really love going to work, and
And
like
we had a good stint there together.
it's
as
honestly, you could argue it was the foundation of this podcast.
Well, we already did work together, and then when it was just me and Cody that would work every Tuesday together at this venue at Narrabeen.
we can say
RSL.
Narrabeen RSL, yeah.
We
It
definitely
it's snowballed.
into this kind
Like,
of. Yeah, 'cause
not
we would-
not only the podcast, but like the friendship as well.
Yeah,
You're spending
yeah.
like 8 hours together every week,
yeah,
like just you two. Like you do.
get to know each
Get
other.
to know
pretty
each
well.
other a bit better. Not that we weren't already really good mates, but
Yeah.
it just like, you know what I mean.
Mm.
It was also the venue, the host venue of the podcast. So the first, I want to say 18 episodes.
Yeah, we had
Something like that?
Mate, that was upstairs and downstairs.
So it's immortalized in the Barflies podcast forever.
We couldn't really have done the podcast without it to at the start. So yeah, so it's sad to see, and it's also one of the few independently owned,
Yeah.
like RSLs and
Yeah.
music venues that are left.
It's one of the only music venues left on the beaches, so it's really sad.
and it's got a lot of character.
It does. It's like a really old, just like scat pub, but like it's just got a really cool like vibe and a really good
Absolutely.
like music and arts culture there. So, and like just from like my perspective, just working there as like a barman, like like the relationships you build with like good customers and stuff as well. It's a really strange feeling.
And, and it's not a pokies club. It's a proper drink. It's a drinkers.
it's a
club.
pub.
Yeah, it's not a pokies RSL or a pokies club. It's a proper locals watering hole.
Exactly. It was kind of like honestly, I was a bit in the feels like last night. Me and
it
Riley,
does suck.
we worked our last shift together, and it was kind of like we both loved like everyone who works there like loves the place. So
Yeah.
it was really really sad to see it go. And like
And that downstairs bar also, which is where we've filmed a couple episodes, like we said, is an awesome place to have a couple cocktails,
it's
play
so
some
sad,
lawn
man. It
bowls.
sucks.
So,
But, like,
we just hope
I
it
got a
doesn't.
few like when you're shaking hands with like a customer for the last time, and they're like like have a good life. Like,
Yeah.
that's quite a weird feeling.
Yeah,
know?
the splitting of paths.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Well, it's like like outside of there, you're not going to see that person. again.
exactly, and like you like these people, but it's at the end of the day, he's a 60-year-old dude.
Yeah,
I'm
I
not going
know.
to catch up with beers, but
Yeah.
like I've
Yeah,
love
it's
that
very.
place.
It's like quite intense,
bittersweet.
bittersweet. But I mean, like someone saying to you like a goodbye.
Yeah,
when
that-
someone says goodbye to you properly, and like it's like
Mate,
it
it
is. It's like an intense kind of not overwhelming, but it is like,
Yeah, totally. One guy said to me on Friday night, he said, "Happy life," and I was like, "Whoa."
Mm.
Okay.
Yeah.
That was a lot. I was like, shit. Okay.
I'm just
Yeah.
a bartender, but yeah, thank you.
No, but like,
I know, but
I
like,
appreciate it.
Yeah,
And
no, I know, but I'm just saying, like, it's
whoa.
it's not like you're his family member.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
you're just serving beers.
Yeah, and like these guys that come down, like the community that's in Narrabeen, like especially up the back, they're all in walking distance from the pub.
Well, like
so
I
that
said,
they've
it's a
gotten
proper locals watering hole.
they've gotten
Yeah.
like now this guy Bill, he's like one of our favorite customers. He was pretty much saying like, mate, I don't know what I'm gonna do now. Like I come down here every Thursday, Friday, walk down, have a couple of beers, catch up.
He's
with
a
everyone,
legend
and
as well.
Such a legend.
Such a good bloke. Loves to talk his footy. Loves to talk his cricket.
Yeah, he's a good bloke.
He is a good bloke. Big Manly fan. Big Turbo fan.
Yeah.
Mm.
But more than anything, very sad to see another live music venue go. I'll
Another
touch
one.
back on that when we get to our beefs.
Yeah,
'cause
we
it's
got in our love and beef. We're gonna touch on that one.
yeah, sad week for live music. But other than that, like really, big weekend. Like me and Riley last night, we were the only two on there. We had 3 staff members from another pub come and help us, and just like we were under the pump. Like,
Yeah.
I was the main point of call.
The thing is on this, because we were talking about it before.
Yeah.
Anytime a pub closes down, everyone comes down. And that's not usually a particularly super busy pub
No.
in Narrabeen, to be fair.
No, it gets busy for band nights, but other than that,
Yeah, not
manageable.
But when things close down, like everyone comes down.
Sure.
And that, I was telling you when I worked at that North Manly club,
Yeah.
it was the last night for that.
It's
And
psycho.
it was absolute,
It's-
mate. It was proper. And like it usually was like, just had the locals there. Like you wouldn't really get anyone drinking there who wasn't a local. And so honestly, I think I had like a 6-hour shift. And I don't think I got out of the bar until
No.
we called last drinks, and we actually stopped serving drinks at 9 or 9:30 or whenever.
Yeah.
And the whole time, it was just non-stop. Like there was 6 of us in this bar, and it was just hectic. Like closing nights working in a bar is always fucking crazy.
Yeah. Well, yeah, exactly. Like last night, I was supervisor. My boss wasn't there, so it was just me. I was working with like 4 18-year-olds or 19-year-olds or whatever. Like in like you say, a hectic bar, like 10-minute bar, like lines on either side. We've got no stock. We ran out of schooner glasses because they were all out on the floor.
That happened to us.
We ran out of. We had no money, so I was just like,
Wheeling
honestly,
and
I
dealing.
was stressed.
You're wheeling and dealing.
Yeah, I've never been stressed at work like that. I was actually stressed.
Well, it is that does when
So-
you don't have any when you don't have any money and you don't
Yeah.
have any stock. That usually would
Yeah.
make you pretty.
And there's no
stressed.
one, like, I couldn't go to anyone.
Yeah.
Because, like, my only other boss was downstairs getting pumped. So,
As
like, I
well.
couldn't, I had nothing. I just had to make the calls. But, we got through it, man.
I suppose
we
you can't really
survived.
make any wrong calls when you're about to close down. Can
Yeah,
you?
exactly. Exactly.
You
But
just do
still,
what
you
you
know,
can.
you just try and do your best, I guess. And everyone was pretty good. Everyone could see that, like,
It was all happening.
it was just, not to mention disgracefully hungover as well.
Yeah, because Monster, I couldn't go on Saturday with the moon boot on,
Yeah.
but had a friend return from the US, and Jack,
Yeah.
so,
True.
yeah.
My best mate. Yeah.
and it was kind of like because he hasn't been to your place yet.
Nah.
So it was kind of him coming back
Yeah.
after his holiday, seeing the lads, and also visiting your place for the first time.
Yeah. Just a good night, you
Just
know?
a good night in general.
Yeah.
I was pretty devo, couldn't
Unfortunately,
come.
missed
But
it. Good night. I got home from work at like 10:30. Everyone was already pretty slosh when I got home. Everyone was having a good time just down in the lounge room. We were going to like a little warehouse party, and the location came out at like 10 or 10:30, and it was either going to be in Marrickville or Parramatta.
Yeah.
So I was whipping home Marrickville. Like,
So
come
you
on,
were like,
surely be
fingers
in
crossed.
Marrickville, yeah.
burn
Sure,
the,
lo and
burn the-
behold.
burn the incense.
Lo and behold, it was in Parramatta.
Happens.
So $100 Uber out there.
Oh, we love that. $100.
$100, dude. Yeah.
Fuck off.
Well, it was like 11:30, so I guess just high demand. Yeah, Hertz, 25 each, 4 people.
Shoosh.
So we get there. It was a sick party, like under this bridge.
Nice.
It was a great setup. We were there for like half an hour, and then we kind of got a whisper that there was cops, which was like a really weird situation to be in. So like, there's like 200 people at this party probably, and all of a sudden you just hear everyone going shh, 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 like trying to get a whole crowd of just people who were just ripping. Just to shut the fuck up.
Was the music good?
Yeah, music was sick for the 30 minutes that we were there.
True.
So we're trying to get everyone to just like shut
Shut
up.
up.
Like everyone just stand there in silence for just 10 minutes while
Yeah.
the cops pass. And obviously people just weren't shutting up. So I don't know. The cops probably would have got there eventually anyway. So that got cleared out, which kind of sucked because it was a sick party. Anyway, we called it. We went home. And as we get home, we came back. It was like me, my roommate, his girlfriend. It was like a crowd of us, like 6 or 7. And we get home and we see there's like 5 blokes on the terrace opposite ours, like either up there drinking and just, you know, doing the same thing as us, having a good time. And EJ starts like talking to him from down on the road. And then we suddenly come to this conclusion, or EJ called him out and said, let's have a rock, paper, scissors for who has kick-ons.
Yeah.
Which just ignited one of like, you couldn't write this stuff.
Yeah.
So there's 5 of them standing on their terrace balcony, second level. Like 5 or 6 of us standing up the top of ours.
Yeah, looking
down on the road where
and
EJ...
and I'll describe the road as the arena in this situation.
Yeah, it was literally like it was literally like Rome. Like
Yeah, it
us
was like,
standing up
choose
in
your
the balcony
fighter,
and
pick
like
your gladiator.
there was one person from each house down there doing rock, paper, scissors on the road. Best of 3, EJ comes out victor.
Yeah.
Which was just sensational. Just honestly, like 2:30 in the morning, couldn't write this stuff.
Yeah.
So someone actually came from the terrace, like 4 houses down, leans over his back and goes, "Can you guys shut the fuck up? It's 2 in the morning." So
And then that ensued one of the shittest calls ever as well.
we'll let that go.
Yeah. We'll just
We'll
pass
let
over that
go.
one. But yeah.
So then we end up in these guys like at the terrace across the road for kick-ons. They were just like the biggest legends.
Yeah, right. So
Um,
now you've got some friends on the street.
Yeah.
Sick.
And we were kind of talking to him, and we were like, "Dude, we've been like people watching you for like the last 2 weeks, trying to like work out like what your vibe is."
Yeah.
Because he lives with his girlfriend,
Yeah.
and the best way to describe them is just like they just look really like in love.
Right.
Like they just look like they love hanging out together and like gardening, and just like they just look like they love
Yeah.
being a couple.
Well, I mean, yeah, ideally you'd hope you'd be like that if you're in a couple.
Totally.
Yeah.
But that's just kind of like when I don't know. They just look like they were very content. Just
Okay.
the 2 of them. There was
Yeah.
never anyone else around.
Okay.
Or
But there is more people in the house.
no. That was just people over. So the girlfriend was out, and the dude had invited like 6 of his mates over.
Okay, nice.
So yeah, we ended up just partying with them till like 4 a.m. And I did
When
that.
the cat's away, the mice come to play situation.
Something like that.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah.
But a great story. It was very like the most share house thing that's happened to us since we
Well,
moved
that's
out.
cool.
Really cool story. I thought. Yeah, great night.
Yeah, that I would have. I would
But
have loved to have been there,
But
but
to back up for work the next day. But you know the hospo boys do it best, mate.
mate, hospital workers fucking back up like no one else.
They do.
They do.
I would not hear otherwise.
No, it's
Anyone
true.
who works a 9 to 5 will borderline refuse to go out on a Tuesday.
Yeah, not a hospital worker. What's that? I start at 8 tomorrow morning. Oh, that's all right. I can
Yeah.
still get a cheeky 4 or 3 in.
That's a problem tomorrow morning.
Yeah. Free feed and a coffee will fix that.
That's a dig at all my mates, by the way. You guys got a lift.
Yeah. Just disgusting. Should we move on? Love affair beef.
Yeah, let's go.
Me first?
There you go.
Oh, thank you. So Spotify, that's my love this week. How good is Spotify? You get everything you want on there. Podcasts, you know, like the books. You can listen to books or whatever on there, I'm pretty sure as well.
You can have the entirety of music that's ever existed
on there.
on there.
And it's just unreal.
And what do you pay, like $10 a month?
I like steal. Like it's actually reasonably priced.
Well, remember in the iTunes days when you'd pay like
$20 for a gift card voucher and you get what?
10
12
songs?
songs or something.
Yeah.
Bullshit.
It is.
You know. So, mate.
But in saying that, artists don't make anything off Spotify barely.
Yeah, they do.
No, not much. It's not like anything like it's just, you have to have. I think it's like it's like 0.00 of a cent per 100
Well, I
listens.
think
It's no money.
I think it depends on how big you are.
Yeah, you have to be enormous. So that's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
if you're just like a
to be
normal artist, like not like Billie Eilish spec, then you have to like buy merch and go to shows to support those guys. You know.
But still a good way for them to get their music out.
Yeah, sure.
But yeah, I just bloody love it. Whatever you feel like listening to, whenever you want to listen to it, it's right there. You pay your $12. and you just cop it.
Yeah.
Because I couldn't. Like, if I was to not have Spotify Premium right now,
My life would be
I
significantly
would be like,
worse.
this sucks. Like, this
Yeah.
sucks. Like, got to go back to listening to it on like YouTube playlist or something.
I turn my Yui Boom on like at least 5 times a day, I reckon.
That's what I mean. I got my wireless headphones, chuck them on, and they got noise cancelling. So good.
Don't talk to me.
Exactly. I'm just vibing. So, Spotify, big love this week.
Good one. I don't think anyone would disagree with that.
No.
And while we're here, do people use Apple Music?
Yeah, people use it.
Why do they do that?
I don't know. You'd have to ask them.
Because didn't Spotify come out first?
Is it?
Because so Spotify came out and then some people went to Apple Music? Because that's what happened,
well,
right?
Apple Music.
Apple
well,
needed to keep up with Spotify.
Well, Apple Music actually derived from the Beats streaming platform that Jimmy Iovine and Dr. Dre started. If you've seen the documentary series, The Defiant Ones, and then Apple Music bought them for like bulk dollars.
Look at that.
Yeah.
People come to this podcast for dribble
Yeah.
and they get...
It's actually, if you're going to watch a documentary, it is a really good documentary.
Which one is it?
The Defiant Ones.
What is it? What's it called? Is it called The Defiant?
Yeah, the Defiant Ones.
Oh, that's what it's called?
Yeah, it's like
okay.
6 episodes, and it's about Dr. Dre and this other guy called Jimmy Iovine. Or Jimmy, yeah, I think that's his name, Jimmy Iovine. And then how, because very different paths, and then how they meet, and they're both like music producers / like businessmen, business
Interesting.
moguls.
I'll definitely watch
And then
that.
they join paths, and then they create beats, and then the beat streaming platform gets bought by Apple Music, by Apple,
Okay.
and is the basis for Apple Music.
Okay. Interesting.
So there you go.
There you go.
And then, yeah. Anyway, moving on to the next.
But like Spotify Rap, for example, like at the
Huge.
end of the year,
Well, that's.
I kind of like seeing that. Apple Music
I think
listeners don't get
Spotify
that.
is a lot more there's much more of a customization element to Spotify than Apple Music.
In what sense?
Spotify. I think the Spotify Rap, the radio, the on repeat.
Oh, the
like, all
artist
that
radios are so good.
Yeah,
And Discover Weekly.
yeah,
and that
that's
sort
what
of
I
stuff.
mean.
Okay, cool.
And
yeah.
like I think the accessibility
Yep.
of Spotify to not as well, because it's easier I think for artists to get on Spotify. Well, I find there's more artists on Spotify than there is on Apple Music.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, check
Like
it out. I feel like
smaller bands and
Spotify's
stuff.
the bigger one. Like, I feel like Spotify's
Yeah,
like
I feel like there's more artists on there.
Yeah, no.
So yeah, love it.
Shout out Spotify.
And then my beef this week, just because I find them, they just annoy me because it's like they're critiquing me, and it's actually another traffic related one. But you know on the car side mirrors, the little detectors that come up, and there's like on new cars, and they come like a little orange light, like exclamation mark, or like a little red light will come up
No. That comes up on the mirror.
on the side mirror. Yeah, it tells you when there's a car next to you. But it's bullshit because I will be in the middle of my lane, not doing anything wrong, and then I just see this little light come up, and it's like, mate, fuck you. I'm not fucking anywhere close to you. Oh, the camera. It's like, I'm not anywhere even close to you. And how dare you critique my driving, saying I'm too close? You know, it just
Yeah.
gets on my nerves when I see it, and I've seen it too much. I'm like,
Yeah.
and why do you even need that? Like, you got eyes to tell you how close someone is.
I know what I'm doing.
You know, yeah, but the drivers of the other car, like, you know, I just don't like them.
Yeah, it's a bit much.
They've just annoyed me recently. and-
Yeah. Would you
Yeah.
like, if you had, yeah, okay.
Yeah, it's a niche beef, but, you know,
Is that in your mum's car or something?
I just see it on a lot of cars.
Okay.
And I don't, you know, and they're, like on the Astra, obviously don't have a side mirror detector to tell me when there's a car near me, but I do have a set of perfectly good eyes that can fucking tell me when someone's getting a bit too close.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I don't know.
No, that's a good one.
But then also, like,
Is
if
it?
I'm in my lane perfectly, doing nothing wrong, and I just see this light on the other car telling me I'm too close, it's like, man,
Is
good
it
stuff.
is it perhaps a blind spot detector as opposed to?
I don't know. I think it just tells you there's a car there. I just don't appreciate it.
Okay. Do you reckon you can turn them off? Or you should just put sticky tape over them, like duct tape, so you can't see them.
Well, it's not my car that has them, but if I had a car, maybe I would.
I think you definitely should.
Well, that's my beef. It's a bit of a short but sweet one, but definitely been annoying.
Well,
me.
when we're making, you know, millions of dollars off the Barflies podcast,
Mm.
and you drive like a Tesla or something,
Yeah. Well,
you'll have to tape
then
it.
I'll have to eat a bit of humble pie. 'Cause now I'll have a car that'll have one.
Okay, well, that's kind of like a.
Yeah. We'll cross that bridge when we get to it. Because that'll happen.
That happens.
That'll happen.
You can lock that in.
That'll happen. Do you want to go yours?
I'd love to.
Yeah, go for it, please.
So my love affair this week is Ryan from The Office.
Oh yeah,
That bloke is so funny.
he's one of the best characters.
And
on the
people
show.
who say The Office isn't funny, fuck you, dude.
Well,
yeah, it is.
Yeah, I don't think. I think season 1 to 6 really good.
I'm in season 6 right now.
Okay, well, the rest, like I watched season 1 to 6 very quickly, and it took me longer to watch 7 to 8 than it did like the last couple seasons that
Yeah.
it took to watch the first 6.
Well, I started The Office in year 10. So,
So this has been going on for a while.
like 7 years.
Wow. Okay.
What year was I in year 10? 2015?
Yep.
7 years, yeah.
Wow.
But yeah, BJ Novak, the actor who plays Ryan, he's
Producer,
a
writer
producer,
as well.
writer of the show. So basically, he's written the descent of his own character into madness. And
Yeah.
it just cracks me up.
And he's like written himself in as like the shittest bloke
Yeah.
as well.
And he only has like a 5-second cameo every episode.
Yeah.
So like when he does come in, it's like, because you know how Dwight is funny, but he's in every scene.
Yeah.
Like Ryan's appearances are so fleeting.
Yeah.
They like almost hit you and then they're gone
Yeah.
before you can.
But
even-
every bit is so good.
oh, it's unreal. He's easily my favorite character, I reckon.
And Dwight does carry the show in the latter seasons or
Okay,
later.
okay.
Is it latter or later?
Latter.
Latter
Or
seasons.
both, but latter I think
Yeah,
is what you're going for.
yeah. Yeah, but he carries.
Yeah.
He carries.
He does.
Also, Creed's a pretty popular one on that show.
Creed's good, yeah.
But Creed, at the time, you're like, oh yeah, kind of funny. But it's not until like if you get on YouTube and you're like, just watch all the Creed bits, and you're like, oh, actually, no, he's funny. That's
Were you
funny.
here that night we were watching Creed highlights on the TV downstairs?
No.
Okay.
Did you have a good time?
Yeah, it was so funny.
Yeah, he's legendary.
Yeah, he's a great character.
I love the one where it's like the best one of him is when he's got blood on his shirt, and he's like, "Oh, it's Halloween today." Well, that's worked out well.
I find like a lot of the humor in The Office is like it's so subtle. Like, and it's that type of humor where like I can't remember what it's called. I've watched videos about it, but it's a technique used in comedy where basically they lead you in one direction and then they'll just go the complete other direction. Do you know
Yeah.
what I mean? Or that the joke will be like, it will still make sense in the context, but it's like not what you thought they were going to say.
Yeah.
Which is part of like the humor because it catches you so off guard.
Yeah. Have you watched the UK one?
No, I haven't. One step at a time.
Yeah, the UK one's a bit different. It's not as like outwardly funny. It's just very like I don't know. You just watch it and you're just cringing like the whole
Are they
time.
the same
Like, it's-
characters?
Pretty much. It's just like way more like when you watch it, you're like, oh my god, like so cringy. Like it's so funny though.
Oh, really?
Like like David Brent, the boss in it, is so much more cringy than Michael Scott.
Okay.
Like Michael Scott's like kind of like likable in a way and a bit more bubbly.
Endearing.
Yeah, when he's like not as endearing, he's just like such a fucking dickhead.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, definitely watch it.
I'll get around to it at some stage.
What's
Maybe
the-
like 2028,
Yeah,
2029.
mate, when you finally finish.
Yeah, something like that. I'll pencil it in.
Go. What's your beef?
So my beef this week, as touched on already, is
Can-
probably with the New South Wales government. Just kind of I don't know, just sort of just to see this week in general has been a tough week for live music and the arts in general.
Well, just this period of time, really.
This period of time, but it's really come to a head this week. We lost like 4 or 5 live music venues this week. The Lansdowne being the most of note.
Yeah.
I saw a post from Eagle Eye Jones. They're a Beaches band, and they just articulated quite well what I probably can't put into words. So like I'll just read it because I think it's interesting. So they wrote this. Absolutely gutted. In just 1 week, Sydney has lost 2 of its finest music venues. Like the last 2 years hasn't been tough enough on the artists of the world. Sydney is experiencing a grassroots epidemic as we speak, and quite honestly, it began many years ago with the lockouts. Our beloved Lansdowne and Narrabeen RSL have closed their doors within the same week. This is extremely troubling. 2 lighthouses and gatekeepers of Sydney's treasured music scene have been extinguished at the hands of the greedy and plump egos holding the purse strings. Sydney's once thriving nightlife culture is now succinctly strangled to only a handful of suburbs. Is it a plight of the artist to be constantly bashed, beaten and bruised by a city that doesn't love you? It certainly seems that way. We've never felt the urge so strongly to leave the hemisphere. The community is still strong and we are eternally grateful for that. It's been bittersweet to see Sydney grieve the loss of the Lansdowne. This is surely a day we will never forget. So it's just like, oh man, it fucking
But it
sucks.
is- but
I don't
I-
really know how to put it into words other than that. It's just like,
That's a good way to put it. And you know what? Sydney nightlife is just like, it's just dead. Like it's just like
sucks, man. Like,
something needs something needs to change. Something needs to loosen up because it's getting a bit.
yeah. And like,
Yeah.
obviously I've experienced it firsthand this week with my work as being a venue that, thrives and runs, sustains itself off the music and arts as opposed to like, pokies and greeting and like being greedy off people's
Definitely.
addictions. It's really sad to lose two venues like that, man. I'm honestly, I'm shattered. I don't know if you can tell. I'm feeling pretty shit about it. So that's my beef this week.
And a justified one. I just think like the whole handling of like the COVID, or in Sydney and New South Wales anyway, like we'll say COVID stage, like 3.0.
Yeah.
We had the initial 0.1. We'll say that's the first version. And then when we kind of got out and then Delta hit, that was kind of 2.
Yeah.
And now with Omicron, this is like, say, part 3 of the COVID, storyline. And it just feels like they don't really have a grasp on what's like going forward or anything. Nothing's like happening.
No.
Like it just, okay, we opened up and then we went straight back into lockdowns and things got tough again. And then it's just kind of, just everything feels a bit, it's kind of dead, and everything just feels there's no real handling on the situation at the moment for, not even just like the live art scene, but just like, public gatherings and like nightlife in general.
Well, that's
what's going on? Like, what is the plan?
Yeah.
Like, there's not a plan.
No,
going
you're
forward.
right. You're right. That's the industry that's struggling the most. And like the arts and the music scene has been crying out for help since this started. Since this started, and it's still going on 3 years later. So you're right. Like, the fact that there is no plan, are we just going to keep seeing venues like this shut?
Yeah.
Like, is that?
And it's frustrating being like, obviously it's very frustrating for people in that scene, but it's also frustrating for like, we've talked about it before, but like being a young person who, you want to enjoy yourself, you want to go out, and the constant like you want to enjoy your life, but obviously there's the constant road bumps that,
Yeah. It's tough, man.
Yeah.
It's tough.
But that's a bit more of a serious Barflies podcast today.
Yeah, well, look, it's
something that's kind of important to both of us.
it's timely. Well, totally, yeah, totally, and important to a lot of people. And I'm sure, like a lot of our listeners would
probably agree,
or
have their own similar opinions or own solutions to the problem.
To be honest, and like, you know what? Maybe arrogant of me. Give a shit if I get COVID.
Yeah.
Again.
Yeah. Agreed.
Like.
Agreed. Yeah.
That might be naive and arrogant. I know, like, there's, roll-on effects from us getting it, but, like, I mean, like, roll-on effects in, like, the hospitalizations and all that stuff, but, like, 22. Let me out.
I know. Let the man off the leash, I dare say.
Let the men and the women off the leash. Let them at it.
Let them at it. Let them go.
Fuck, it sucks.
Let the fucking boys and girls play.
Yeah, exactly. Just a shit week, all in all, for live music.
Well,
and just before we move on, a call to support your favourite artists
and your local
pubs.
Yeah, because one thing we do love at the Barflies podcast is our local pubs.
Yeah, we do.
We do love that.
Pubs plural.
Speaking of good and bad starts of the week, though, this is actually touching back on our recap real quick. Remember last week in the last episode when I said on Monday, and I said, wow, I've had a really good Monday today. And we were joking like, oh, it's something bad will happen at the end of the week. Oh, nothing, classic Zander. Had a really good week at work after that. Did an interview for this job on Friday as well. Went pretty good. And then I was supposed to go on a date on Friday night. Date also was a close contact for COVID, so we had to reschedule. And then that night, boom, ankle.
So you
predicted my own downfall.
Yeah.
But then swimmingly went along with what was going on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, a wise man once said, I'm not happy about the situation, but it's the situation I'm in.
I have. He's wiser, man. He said that.
So can I just? You were supposed to go on a date. it fell through.
Yep.
So then you went out and broke your ankle.
And went with randoms. So I could have gone home with my friends. Went, no, I'm staying out. So I've kind of, by my own default, my own conditioning has resulted in this. But maybe, you know, in Wolf of Wall Street when he goes, after he drives the Lamborghini like hell fucked and he goes, time for the chickens to come home and roost.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that's how loose I was or anything, but I'm saying there's a certain element of that to it.
Yeah.
Maybe it's time to chill.
Well, life's all about balance.
Yeah, maybe it's time to
And if you
give it a couple of weeks on the sidelines, mate.
would I be fair in saying like you had the opportunity to restore balance and you still chose otherwise?
Twice. Yeah.
You got what you deserved.
Oh, look. Yeah, well, deserved, strong word, but yeah, sure. Yeah, I definitely deserve this.
That's good stuff.
I definitely made my own bed.
Yeah.
You know, got no one else to blame but myself.
Yeah.
But yeah, but on Sunday I was feeling a bit blue per se. I was feeling a bit lethargic.
Bit flat.
Bit flat. So I felt like having a bit of comfort, and I watched Lord of the Rings.
Okay.
Yeah, because it's just one of those movies. Ultimate comfort movie. One of my favorites. Probably one of the best trilogies, if not the best trilogy ever made. And I watched the first one. I was like, Fellowship of the Ring. Haven't seen that in ages. Whip it on. And I forget how good because the other two are so amazing. Like the other two Lord of the Rings movies are so good that you kind of forget that Fellowship of the Ring is also on that level. But it feels kind of rough saying, oh yeah, that's the worst of the three. Because if that movie was in any other trilogy, you'd argue it would be one of the best movies in the... Do you know what I mean? Like,
Sure.
It's still such a good quality, but to put it last feels rude.
Yeah. Well, you
know.
got to put one of the Batman trilogy last as well, you know.
I would put the third one last in that one. I would put the first one second, and I would put the Dark Knight first.
Yeah, I'd go Batman Begins, Dark Knight, and the other one.
Yeah.
We've had this convo on here
We
before,
have.
but all great movies. Again,
Yeah.
like even though it's the bottom of the three, it's still
Feels
above
rough.
so many
Feels
movies.
rough to give it to put. Yeah, it's so much better, and it's just sensational.
Yeah.
If you're not seeing Lord of the Rings,
Is it on Netflix? Because
it's
I
on
actually haven't
Netflix.
seen
You've
it.
got a month. At the end of this month, they're taking them off.
Oh, okay, I'll watch. Because
So give
Kane's
it a
been
wa-
telling me to watch them as
Yeah,
well.
they are unreal, and
Okay.
I'm pretty sure the last one, Return of the King, has got the joint most Oscars with, I can't remember the other movie,
Yeah.
but it's got I think maybe it's 9.
Okay.
9 Oscars, including Best Picture.
Decent knock.
So yeah, anything that gets Best Picture is usually pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll definitely give it a watch.
Give
It's
it a
been-
watch.
Yeah. No, I'm like
Because you don't like your movies too much.
I don't not like them. I just don't seek them
Not-
out. Just don't watch them. It's the same
Yeah.
as me and food. I don't necessarily not like food. I just don't eat it.
Well, speaking of food, mate, Segway's on fire today.
Oh, you took loads out of it. You are on fire today.
Fuck, Segways are on fire right now. Had a bar me. Again, did say I loved me bar me last week. Had a bar me on Friday. Bit of a late lunch. Bit hungry.
Where from?
In Newtown, at the
Yep.
end of King Street, near where Jared lives.
Gee,
There's one.
you are out here all the time.
Yeah, I'm out here all the time now. Anyway, had the bar me, and I'm just going, how good's this? And I kind of had this thought. I was like, surely this is, if there was a graph of like taste, price, and fullness, bar me would have to be number one. Because they cost you a pork roll bar me, because it costs you what, $6, $7, tastes fantastic, and you're always pretty full after eating it. And I'm just thinking, there has to be some form of graph to have that there, because that would be number one.
Yeah.
I'd say like a Domino's pizza, the $5 Domino's pizza, taste, price, obviously are great, but fullness.
So it's a
Pretty
bit
like-
imbalanced.
Well, it's not imbalanced, but like I feel like there's good criteria on there to give you a good idea of what food option is
It would
the
still
best.
score well, but it wouldn't score above a bar me.
It would be like a 6, but a bar me I feel like would be an 8.5 on that scale.
Yeah. No, a Domino's $5 pizza be higher than a 6.
I reckon.
Because for taste and fullness, you can't get better. I mean, not taste, price and fullness.
6.5.
They'd be 10s for price and fullness. A full pizza for $5,
Yeah.
you're going to be max full.
Taste
So price,
5.
fullness.
Taste 5. It'd be 6.5, 6.7,
Mm.
I'd say. But, you know, it's just food for thought. I think it's got...
Nice.
Thank you. I'd say... If any listeners think they know what would be nicer or better on the graph,
Yeah, give us some
let me know, because I
goodies.
also want to try whatever you think is good to, you know, taste, price, fullness. What's the best option? Give me a whirl.
Because you could say, like, bacon and egg rolls, for example. Taste good, price too expensive.
Usually too expensive.
And sometimes, depending on the size of them, for the average,
Doesn't actually rate well on the food index.
No. Because it's too taste heavy.
On the TPF index,
yeah.
not well rated.
No.
But like maybe like a lunch, and then you've got also you've got the lunch special aspect in it as well. So say you're at like a local Thai venue. Usually everything's full in taste, 10s.
Yeah.
Usually. Or maybe depends if you like how they've done it. Price is usually the issue.
Yeah.
A $10 lunch special though, you know, in that 2 hour period, 1 hour period, that would become top of the top of the charts.
Yeah.
You know, thoughts?
Sorry, I'm hearing a noise. Can you hear that?
I think it's just the roadworks downstairs.
No, it's like it sounds like plastic.
No, you're wigging out.
Dude, I don't know.
You're
Okay.
actually wigging out.
Anyway, sorry, that
Cody's-
was full throwing me out. I could not concentrate.
Cody's just full cooked it.
Or maybe it's your Velcro on your moon boot.
Oh,
maybe
true.
It could be that.
Yeah, probably. But
Yeah, it's that.
yeah,
that was
that's what it
weeing me
is.
out.
Oh, there you go.
I thought it was like a moth behind me or something. That's why I kept looking there. Anyway,
That's cooked.
sorry,
You're cooked, mate.
dude. I'm bounced. I told you.
Anyway,
It's
that's
me.
true.
That was a
Anyway, if
monster.
anyone has any recommendations for the TPF index graph, let me know. I want to try some new things. You know, we love our grub here on the Barflies podcast.
Yeah. Maybe I should somehow draw up a TPF index.
That would be, we can make an Excel spreadsheet.
Well, I was thinking more of like a visual one. Might be
You
easy.
can make graphs.
Might be easier on the listener's eyes
Yeah.
as opposed to an Excel spreadsheet.
Well, you can make a graph with a spreadsheet.
I was looking at some jobs this week,
Yeah.
and I would consider myself quite proficient in like computer software in terms of like,
Yep.
I mean, I can use Illustrator and Photoshop and obviously
pretty good.
Premiere and Audition, like the video and audio editing,
Yep.
Microsoft Word, PowerPoint, all those good.
Yeah.
I've never used Excel.
Mate, I barely use Excel myself.
So like at what it's one of the this sort of thing's been going on about lying about Excel on your resume for years.
oh,
I've
I've got a good friend.
I'm
who's
kind of
done
now
it.
I'm now at the bridge that needs to be crossed.
Where you need to learn how to do it. Same.
Either I need to lie about it and figure it out on the job
Or
or
learn.
teach myself.
Yeah. Well, for uni, occasionally we have to use Excel, but the only time I'll just have to do it when required.
Yeah.
But I don't remember anything afterwards. I've just gone, okay, I just made the functions, blah, 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 boom. Because you can just Google it, or like we said,
Figure it out on
or
the go.
you just YouTube how to put in this formula.
Yeah.
Some fucking legend has
Exactly.
made a
Yeah.
legendary video
Yeah.
on how to do it.
Those guys that make tutorial videos are always the biggest legends, don't you reckon?
Well, we're talking about it. Remember we were saying that last week, or the
Yeah.
week before. There's just an expert in everything.
No, but that's not. I'm just saying in general, people who make tutorial videos
It's
are
so
good.
helpful.
They're good people.
Just clutch. Just so good. Yeah.
What do you reckon if like we got all the people who made tutorials, like they could change the world if you got them all together in a room? Do you know
Do you
what I
reckon
mean?
they could solve the Russia-Ukraine crisis?
Look, if they couldn't, then no one could.
Maybe we'd get the top 10% tutorial video makers from YouTube,
Yeah,
put them in a room, and just see what they can come up with.
totally. I think seriously, this has got legs. How's no one spoken about this before?
I know. Get them in.
If you're going to go out of your way to like set up a camera and talk while demonstrating what to do
in certain scenarios,
for essentially no profit.
they could together they could come up with a solution or like a tutorial on how to solve a global crisis,
Yeah.
economic and geopolitical,
Yeah, I agree.
for sure.
And if they, that seriously, they could change the world.
They could change the world. Well, they're just just good blokes, just good blokes with great minds.
Good blokes and gals.
Yeah. Well, yeah. We keep saying
Blokes, gender neutral.
Yeah.
Obviously,
Everyone.
everyone's a bloke.
Yeah. Our apologies. Should we go back page? Because a fair bit has happened. Okay, there's been in the cricketing world, well, in Australia's cricketing sphere.
Sphere.
Lots has happened. Lots has happened.
Big week in
Big-
sport. Well,
Monster week.
big week sort of like outside of the arena, perhaps off the field, you might say.
Well, it seems like it's a bit of an off season for a couple of different sports.
Like
there
we-
is the Super Bowl next week as well, actually.
Like we mentioned, February is the stinkiest month for sport.
Yeah, not much is doing. Not much is doing.
No.
No, not at all. I mean, there's basketball and stuff. There's that's on, but it's kind of in the
Australian sport.
Yeah,
Obviously.
more Australian sport, or good stories. Nothing unless when the playoffs are on or the big trades happen, which will be next week for trades and playoffs is in a few months for the
Yeah.
NBA. We'll cover it more then.
You will.
I will, but not right now. Nothing's really doing. So let's get into the Justin Langer coaching incident. So this has been brewing for a couple months. It's been in the background, and I was kind of taking the stance with the players not commenting on it. Oh, they don't want to take away from the summer of cricket. They don't want to, they don't want to say anything because they don't want to implicate themselves in
In the situation.
the situation. But then I was kind of like, wait a second, that's a bit naive of me to think that, because the players are definitely, they pick and choose the coach in cricketing teams. Like, if they wanted him there, they could have said something. And, they've been quiet. And I think Mitchell Johnson, I'd hate to critique Pat Cummins because it doesn't feel right doing it, but he is right saying he kind of failed a test in, sticking up for the coach and keeping Justin Langer, because, he's been doing media interviews for other things in general throughout the week or last 2 weeks, and he's been asked multiple times about the situation, and he's just refused to show support or comment. Which, obviously they've all got their own relationship, but I think it's like to not say anything. It was a bit, he said it was kind of seemed a bit gutless to not even comment on it, which
Agreed.
I'd actually kind of agree.
I agree.
And, the coach who kind of made you captain, you just won an Ashes with him and you haven't backed him up.
Directed Australia through perhaps the most tumultuous time.
Given him a real, Pat Cummins has become the world's best bowler while he's been in charge of the team.
Yeah.
And on top of that, they've won the World Cup, and on top of that, he produced the world's best batsman currently in Marnus Labuschagne. That was under Justin Langer. And, Travis Head looking pretty good. So, I don't understand. Like, I think there's something definitely afoot with the players. And if I was putting on my thinking cap, what it is the core group of players who is the fast bowling unit: Nathan Lyon, Steve Smith, Dave Warner, Pat Cummins, they all play for New South Wales, and they've all kind of come through the system together. And there's a coach and like a figurehead who used to be involved in the New South Wales system when they were all coming through. Trevor Bayliss, he was actually the coach of England for a little bit. He's coached Sri Lanka, different teams in the Big Bash he's coached as well. But he's quite close to all of them, that group, because he coached and was a staff in New South Wales team. And he also is from the Penrith area, same as Pat Cummins. So they're very close. So I think they want someone who's going to that core group of 7, who are all, 28, 29, or started in their 30s. I think they want a coach who's just going to support them in their vision, which I think is for them to have almost at the back end of their careers their own golden era of having a really solid team. With that core group of 7, now you've got Marnus, now you've got Travis Head, you've got 9 solid players in there. They want a couple of years, I think, of them in the team as their golden couple of years before they all kind of retire.
Why is this noise about Justin Langer needing to resign even come out in the first place? Like, why are they even... because people... Did I see... was it Ricky Ponting, I want to say? Essentially saying he should just resign while he's ahead. Like, resign on a high note. Why is this... Hang on. Why is this chat even... why is it even surfacing when he's had such a successful stint as coach?
Because Because they want because the players aren't backing him and the players choose the coach. And so if the players aren't supporting him, then it gives them reason to be like, no, we're not going to have you as the coach if the players don't want you there.
It seems ludicrous to me.
It does seem ludicrous. And I think he was a bit of a hard ass, and I think he was probably maybe he was a bit too intense with the players, and they just saw an opportunity for a bit of change to go in the direction they wanted, maybe not what Justin Langer wanted. And yeah, and they've just...
So you think the players are at the core of this, essentially?
Yep, definitely.
Interesting.
And it seems a bit fishy. Justin Langer, Tim Payne, both resurged Australia into, got Australia cricket to where it is now. And within 2 months, they're both gone.
Well,
Seems a bit fishy, doesn't it?
The players wouldn't have had anything to do with Tim Payne, surely. Do you reckon?
I don't know. Well, I mean, I don't know.
The tinfoil hat's on here.
Mate, I think Cricket Australia is... they're doing a bit of clearing of house, I think.
Interesting.
And pointing it... Now they've gotten it back to respectable level. I think maybe Cricket Australia kind of like, all right, we got to where we want to be. Now we're going to take it into the new decade in a new direction.
Geez, you can't help but feel sorry for them a little bit.
Who?
Tim Payne and Justin Langer.
Well, I don't know. I feel like it's a bit sus. Do you know what I mean?
Oh, totally.
To just take it on face, I think there's a fair bit going on behind this. Because, I mean, it's Australia's national sport. It's like our team.
Mm.
It's very, a lot of people are going to have a lot of ideas in the upper ranks of it.
Yep.
So, I think something's... Not everything is as it seems, I feel like.
Yeah, for sure.
So there's definitely like there is at any level of hierarchy, there's always power struggles going on. So
no, that was a good insight.
yeah, that would be that's what I think. Anyway.
It's your 2 cents.
That's my 2 cents. I think, yeah.
2 cents.
Make of it what you will, listeners. But yeah.
No, I appreciate that. And I will, keep that knowledge in mind as I continue to navigate the waters that is the cricketing off-season.
Well, talk about navigating waters. Kelly Slater, surfer. Yeah.
You're on fire.
Yeah, on fire with these segues today. Fuck, mate. Kelly Slater has won his 8th pipeline at 14, just shy of turning 50. 49 years old. And if you saw any of the footage from the pipeline this year, by no means were these small waves.
Was it skits?
It was huge. It was huge.
Yeah, right. Okay.
They weren't tiddlers, mate. There was a fair bit doing.
So I don't know anything about the surfing. How do you win? What is the final heat down to six surfers or something?
You do heats.
Yeah.
And then you do semis, and then it's just two.
Two in the final.
Yeah.
Far
yeah.
out.
So you do a bunch of heats and semis, and then there's just two.
Okay.
But yeah, Kelly Slater, 8th pipeline, 49 years old. This win coming 30 years after his first win at the same break.
That's unfathomable to me.
How awesome is that? I reckon that's such a good story.
Think about your entire life.
I know.
And then add a decade to it, and that's how long he's been winning pipelines.
Yeah, it's sick. And he beat, in the final, so obviously pipeline's in Hawaii, and he beat a 22-year-old Hawaiian local in the final. So it might as well also be Kelly Slater's. He's surfed it multiple times. It's not like he's on unfamiliar turf.
No.
But he beat a guy, half his age. And it's his own backyard.
Yeah.
Just so good. I'm not a big into the surfing, not a huge surfing fan. Don't watch it all the time. But I think you got to appreciate this story for what it is.
Yeah, that's a huge feat.
And it's his first win since 2016 as well on the world stage.
Well, you know what winners do, mate? They win.
They win. They bloody win. That's true.
Kelly Slater's a winner.
He is a winner. It's 11 world titles. Crazy. But yeah, not sure how much the old dog's got left in him. He's getting there, 49 years old. But what a memorable way to mark the latter part of his career.
Totally.
In picking up a pipeline in monstrous conditions.
Similar to Rafa Nadal.
There was a fair bit of Rafa about it. Yeah. Or there was a fair bit of, Jordan Ring 6 about it as well.
I wonder, because Rafa was talking about how he feels invigorated and full of energy again after winning the the Oz Open.
Well, French Open's next. And if Novak doesn't get vaxxed for that because they said he can't play if he doesn't get vaxxed. That's Rafa's home. He loves that. He's won multiple of those. So
Well, Djokovic's a bit younger, isn't he?
I think he's like a year or two younger.
Okay.
I think Fed's a little bit older than Nadal.
Yeah. Yeah. It'll be interesting. I think the way I heard it described was like by the time their careers are said and done, Djokovic will probably get the edge just because he's a little bit younger and he'll probably take a few more titles after the other two have retired.
But maybe some of the young players might start firing a bit more.
Yeah, I've never taken too much of a liking to Djokovic, so.
Yeah, neither. But I'm saying the younger players, like there's like the younger players on the tour, like Medvedev, Zverev, Tim. Yeah. So maybe they'll start winning a couple more. But you never know because the old dogs are doing pretty good right now.
Yeah.
You know?
22 is it the year of the old dog?
Could be the year of the old dog. You know, we'll see how Kieran Foran goes at Manly this year. Yeah.
Yeah, good stuff.
Well, Benji's not playing anymore,
Nah,
so it would be good if he was still around. But
he went close last year.
yeah.
Maybe he should have played on one more year. He might not have
Well,
known.
if this year was the year of the old dog, then he'd be kicking himself that he didn't. Well, on the Chinese lunar calendar, was it the year of the old dog this year?
Yeah, the old dog, yeah.
Yeah.
That's one of the ancient Chinese animals.
Yeah. So there you go. So it was meant to be.
Look, if Benji didn't listen to the Barflies podcast,
He'd be spewing that he didn't know it was the year of the old dog this year.
because he could have gone one more lap and he could have got a ring.
Oh, he could have. Oh, he should. He deserves it. Well, where's he coaching? He's back at the Tigers
Back at the
coaching.
Tigers, yeah.
There you go. Tim Sheen's brought him back.
Yeah, Tim Sheen's
Smart.
doing a
And
good job.
Robbie.
And Robbie.
It's Robbie and Benj.
Yeah, they're all there. Brett Kamali's there.
Brett Kamali's there.
Yep.
Wow. Well, there you go.
Yeah.
That's actually a good coaching setup.
Do you know-
Two Origin level play, like two players played for Australia, played Origin, and all three of them have been to grand finals, played a lot of finals footy. And Benji Marshall.
Brett Kamali win a comp? Yeah, with Melbourne
Yeah.
in
And-
1999.
Yeah. And, Benji Marshall was the world's best player at one point.
Yep.
So not a terrible coaching backstaff there.
No, not terrible.
Not the worst. And
Do you
then
know-
you've got Tim Sheens and Madge, who've all won premierships.
Yeah.
So,
Do you know what year it is, actually, on the Chinese Zodiac
year of
calendar?
the fucking West Tigers.
No, it actually is the year of the Tiger.
Is it?
On the Zodiac, yeah.
Well, Omen.
No.
Omen to make finals footy.
No, I don't think so. Not this year.
Never say never.
Yeah, I don't know. I just can't see, I don't know. I just don't think our roster's quite there yet.
Don't reckon you're getting the ferry to Brooks Island this year?
I'm still there.
Are you still at Brooks Island?
Yeah, I think so.
Brooks Island is the island that Luke Brooks fans live on.
Yeah.
Which is where Cody resides.
Yeah, some call it delusional.
Yeah, Delusion Island.
I don't know. I think what I've been seeing lately, like the general yarn around Luke Brooks, I think people have started to sort of come around to him a little bit. And people are like, this bloke can play. He just is in a bit of a shit team.
I said that to you.
Yeah.
That was my kind of
Yeah.
thing. Is like I think he can actually play. I just think he's not. He needs a fresh start
Yeah.
somewhere else. Like his time's up at the Tigers. He's got too many demons within the team, and like just being there, he needs a new setup, new system. Like someone like an experienced coach as well. Like imagine like a Bellamy or like a Bennett with him. What a pickup that would be for the Dolphins.
I would love
Brooks
him
on a cheapie.
Yeah, I'd love Brooks to go. If he was to go anywhere, I'd love him to go to either the Dolphins or Melbourne.
Wow, that would be sensational.
Because I think I agree. Under a good coach, man, I think he could be anything. I've always said it.
You have said, and I've also agreed with that yarn. Speaking of the NRL, All Stars game very soon, 2 weeks.
Yeah, look, one of the games I'm most excited for.
Showpiece event of the year.
Showpiece event.
Always a good game.
The teams came out during the week.
The squads,
I think there was
not the 1 to 13, but the squads.
What was it, 21-man squads, something like that?
Yeah.
And oh my god, they were just not great.
No.
The Maori squad, like I was saying to you before, is missing their entire spine. No Kalen, no Jerome Luai, no Jerome Hughes, no Brandon Smith.
And that's in the normal season.
That's one of the best spines in the comp.
That's like amazing.
It's a top 3 fullback, a top 2 or top 3 5'8",
yeah, top 3 halfback,
top 2 halfback, I'd say,
and a top
3 hooker.
Yeah, wow.
And just seeing again, like we were saying last week,
And
just
they're all
seeing-
electric players.
and they all when they play for their culture, it's different.
Yeah,
Like,
they play so hard.
They go
I love
psycho. They actually
Those
go
games are so good. Like Brandon Smith 2 years ago was like he's got a hat trick.
That's when he came on. That was when I
That was
first
his
heard
first
his
huge
name.
game.
Yeah.
And he went off.
Yeah, he went skits.
He went off that game. And that was one of the games that put him on the map. proper.
Yeah. The Indigenous squad was better. No Cody Walker, no Latrell, obviously.
Shame Cody Walker's not playing
Yeah,
because, he is one of the more electric players of the game.
yeah. And he kind of
Loves a bit of eyes up footy.
He kind of epitomises like an Indigenous rugby league player for me. Like the way he plays rugby league is like just fully, just
Energy.
all instinct,
Yeah.
energy. Just plays what's in front of him. He doesn't know what he's doing till he gets the ball in his hands, sort of thing. And it's just so good to watch. So disappointing he's not there. I think we've both got the Indigenous All Stars 13+.
Yeah.
I'd be keen to go to the pub and watch it.
Absolutely.
Is it next week?
Yeah, I think a week after maybe.
Okay.
And also just quickly, if you're still hanging around, the Supercoach, we have got a couple of messages about the Supercoach.
Yep.
Details to come. We'll be posting a bit more regularly.
Do you reckon we should do like a prize pool for it? Surely.
We could do a prize pool. We'll put a poll out on the Instagram. We'll suss out what you guys are thinking.
Yeah.
If you're keen, you're keen. Let us know. And I think is that everything?
Yeah, so my roommate Kane has put me onto this. I think they're Canadian, I want to say.
And this is the song of the week.
They're a Canadian band. Song of the week. It's called No Woman by Whitney.
Is it Sensation?
Yeah, it's a great song.
Okay.
It's a bit more of like a sort of, it's like a bit more of like a rainy day
Yeah, okay.
sort of song.
Yeah, right. Okay.
Just to like paint the picture for you.
Yeah, okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, nice. Yeah,
I'll add it
very
to the playlist.
Yeah, awesome.
Good episode today.
I think so. Yeah, it's good.
Do you know what I mean?
Every episode's a good episode, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, last week we felt a bit scat.
Yeah, last week was it was a bit crazy. It was a bit chaotic.
We got good feedback though.
Yeah, got good feedback. We
So-
enjoyed it.
Anyway, thanks for joining us for another week.
Hope you have a great week. Everyone, be careful if you go to Vic on the Park. All right, that place is a bloody landmine. don't be fucking jumping around.
By the way, just on that before we wrap up real quick. You're not like an uncoordinated young man.
No.
Like you're quite,
Yeah.
you pride yourself on your sport and your athleticism.
Oh yeah, athlete, peak athlete.
How do you break your ankle from a little jump shot?
Beats me, mate. Beats me.
Obviously.
Beats me.
It's that ghost down at the Vic.
Yeah, he fucking hate that place. I'm cursed there. Hates me.
Maybe the Vic is just like, that's the epitome of like you know how you say your life is ups and downs?
Yeah, maybe I'm just not meant to go there. Maybe it's just like don't.
It's an
just-
omen.
It's like stop going there.
It's literally screaming at you to stay in and save your money.
yeah.
So you can move out.
Every time I go there, I airball or break my ankle. It's crazy.
Imagine you end up living in Marrickville.
Yeah.
Then
Well.
you'd be in big trouble.
Yeah. Well, maybe. Yeah. Fuck.
Or do you go there and just like face the demon and you just keep going
We
until
make
you...
friends.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think we make.
It's like the
friends.
basilisk in Harry Potter.
Yeah, we make good friends.
You know what I
We-
mean?
Yeah, we make.
Do you know what? The Vic would be like a Horcrux for you.
Okay, weren't we wrapping this episode up?
Don't you reckon though?
Yeah.
Like if
Yeah.
if your soul was split into 7 pieces,
The basketball, the Vic would be one
the
of
basketball and the
would be
Vic,
one of them.
and you'd have to destroy that to destroy you.
Yeah, definitely. I think so. Well, it's taken my soul.
You can lock that in.
Yeah, lock that in. It's done a good one on me.
All right. Thanks for joining us. The
Yeah.
Barflies Podcast, episode 23. My name is Cody. This is Alexander. Have a good week.
See you later.